Costa Mesa City Council chiming in early on the TikTok controversy with the police officer. Is it helping? Is it hurting? Let's talk about it. And welcome to the Costa Mesa Pettis Perspective. My name is Jeff Pettis, and thank you for watching as usual. And please do me a favor and subscribe if you have not. Also leave a like, comment. Helps us track the algorithm, make sure we're doing the right things, getting people to watch, all that good stuff. So tonight, what I'm going to talk about is a small portion of the council meeting that occurred last night, and I think it's an important topic. Sometimes the smallest things are the most important things. And I want to talk about this TikTok video that was, those of you that haven't seen it, there'll be a screenshot here, and also I'll leave a link to the video, if I can, to TikTok in the description section. It involves a interaction with a police officer and a citizen at a traffic stop. And what I want to first start off by saying is what I'm not doing here is making the case for any kind of behavior that involves racism. I'm not making a value judgment against whether or not the policeman was being racist or whether or not the citizen was right or wrong. That's not the point of my video at all. I want to steer away from that because any free-thinking, good quality human knows that racism is bad. We shouldn't do it. So I don't want to talk about that. Obviously, racism is bad. Let's not debate that. What I do want to talk about is the video itself and the fact that during the council meeting, this came up. There was, I think, everybody with the exception of maybe one or two council people. I know that the mayor talked about it, the city manager, several of the council members chimed in on this video and what they think about it. So the gist of it was the behavior of this officer was beneath the quality of the officers we should have in the Costa Mesa PD. The guy shouldn't have done it. Racism is never going to be tolerated. He's not living up to the standards that we set forth for the Costa Mesa PD, all that stuff. Now, whether or not that's true, my question is it a good thing to be chiming in on this case at this point? I think the answer to that is no, and primarily because the chief of the police department needs to do an investigation, needs to look into it, needs to make a determination on if disciplinary action needs to be taken. He needs to do his thing and then close the case. So up and until then, it's not appropriate to comment on this, and you have to let him do his job. And the reason for that is because these things, when commented on, especially by city leadership, can have a chilling effect on what we ask the police officers to do in the line of duty. What we don't want is to have police officers out there in our city doing their job and then become less willing to do their job, less motivated to do their job, fearful to do their job, because there could be, they had witnessed how this or other things went down, and they just as soon hold back than risk even being called a racist. Again, not saying if that took place here or not. We don't want that message. We want the message to be, you are expected to do your job within these parameters, and if you do so, you're not going to be persecuted. You shouldn't feel fearful about doing the hard job that police officers have a tough job. They do the work that most of us are unwilling to do, afraid to do, simply won't do. They're the best in our community, and we need them. We need police officers to keep us safe. We need police officers to keep people from stealing our Amazon packages. We need police officers to protect our kids. We need good quality police officers. And my fear on things like this, and I'm going to side with Gameros. It's a rare thing, but I'm going to side with him on this one, that we don't want to paint with a broad brush our police department with any broad brush. So I'm not saying that necessarily happened here, but that's the risk. Now, these things can have a chilling effect. And what tends to happen, we've seen this happen nationally, is if you do have an environment where it's hostile towards law enforcement, you end up having a deficit in staffing. You need police officers in any city. So if you have a deficit in staffing and having a hard time hiring police officers, what happens? You're going to start loosening your standards in terms of hiring and what the requirements it takes to become a police officer. And what does that mean? It means we end up having maybe, possibly, probably a lower quality or a lower the pool of applicants is not what we would want here in Costa Mesa. And then we end up with police officers that are more likely to engage in the behaviors that we are worried might or might not have happened in this video. That is all I'm saying here. And I think it's important that we keep our mouths shut as leaders in the city, especially city council, the mayor, until the investigation is finished and the chief has done what he needed to do. And I say that out of all due respect for our police, all due respect to our city leadership. It's just a heads up for me. That's how I feel about this one. Again, not making any value judgments on the details of the case itself. I'd like to see the chief be able to do his thing, come out with his findings, and once those are out, then we can go ahead and discuss it. And until then, I think it's bad to play armchair quarterback. Be kind to yourself. Be good to each other. Together, we can get it done, and bye for now.